Hello, welcome back to Wales. It is a beautiful day today, as you can see, and I'm out and about and I'm recreating a walk that I did back when I first came to Wales. Hard to believe, nearly 2 months ago now. But the difference is today I've got Wellington boots on, so I shouldn't be getting lost in the woods. Now this is the spot I got stuck on before, and I went up the hill there, where I think I should have really followed this path, which is actually more of a river, so that's where I'm going. So hopefully I'll get to my destination today. Today is the first day that the trains are back on the Rhondda Railway. They've been out of action for 18 months for upgrading the electrification of the railway line. But we aren't getting the new trains until the summer apparently. But I'm going to take a stroll down there anyway to have a look at what the new platform is like. Apparently they made it a bit smaller. You know what, I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually the river. Why can't I find this? Oh no, it is the path. There it is. I thought I was heading in the right direction. This is what you call true river walking. Ah, so it's going off to a bog on the right there. Well, we may not end up where we want to go, but it'll be an adventure getting somewhere anyway. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain. This is definitely the path, but I think the motorbikes have been here. Yes, this certainly needs a bit of improvement. I couldn't do this without my boots on. I think I might be on my ass soon. Okay, this is the path. This is terrible. It's alright for you sat in your warm houses there. Get ready to catch me when I slip. Obviously during the summer these are a lot easier to navigate because they usually dry up. Oh, look at that, that's actually quite deep, that is. Really need to be careful here because it could go over my boots. Okay, so I've come up to the top, but I can see there's another path. So again, oh no, I think that is connecting up to where I've just come up. Oh, that certainly gets the lungs open of a morning. Right, shall I walk up the reeds? Although reeds usually just mean there's water. Right, let me just try and jump over there. Right, get ready to catch me. Oh, there we go. That wasn't that bad. So this camera that I've got, I have what they call a dead cat, which is a sort of muff they call it as well, which is over in bottom of the camera to try and cut out the wind. And it's a lot windier than I thought. It's very easy to get swept away with being indoors and you see the sun out the window and you think, I'm going to pop out there for a quick stroll, and then you open the door and the blast of cold pushes you back in. I think last night was -4, so I was hoping a lot of these would be frozen. Right, well I'm going back up to the trees again. Maybe next time I will start at the end and work my way back up and then just catch the bus home. Oh. But that's what it's all about. I just wanted to get out today. Haven't been on the mountains for, I can't remember, for a fortnight. I've been busy, the weather hasn't been playing ball, and sometimes, even if it's not favourable, you just need to get out there and smell the fir trees and look at the views. Look at that. Once we get into the trees, it will soon calm down. That's a nice stone. Nice to rest your ass on that. Right, get in those trees now. We can have shelter. Catch our breath. Oh, there we go. And then we're on the flat. So if you remember, after the last one, I told you this is where all the levels were for the coal mines. Well, before the coal mines came, a few miners got together and they would drill into the mountain. And there were hundreds of holes all along this section. And you can see it here. You can see how the land is slightly back a bit. So all this would be a hive of activity. And obviously in those days the trees weren't here. Just a bare mountain. Don't forget, back about 100, 150 years ago, if you didn't have transport, it took hours to get somewhere. And even today, okay, the train is back on, but it's still slow. If I caught the train from Treherbert and wanted to go over to Blaengwynfi, for example, I'd have to go 1 hour, 1 hour 10 down the valley, and then wait for the next train, go across South Wales, and then go back up the other valley. So it's about 3 hours to get over the hill. Maybe even 4, just to be on the safe side. If you've got a car, you can get over there in 20 minutes. But back in those days, they would just walk. They wanted to go and see their cousins in the next valley. They'd pack their bags and they'd just walk. It might take an hour and a half to get there. And they'd go and they'd spend the whole day there, then come back in the evening. Especially if it was a full moon. It would be quite easy to see your way, because it is so dark here in the nights. You can see the stars. That's one of the trips I want to do in the summer, is to walk over to Blaengwynfi, sort of retrace the steps of the people from the past. Pop over to the cafe, have a cup of tea, something to eat, and then come back again. This is a beautiful walk, once you get past the mud. You remember when I was in London, and I went to Sydenham Woods, and I said that during the lockdown it was heaving there. There were loads of people. Well, apparently they were a bit more draconian in Wales, so I'm told, with the rules. Far more stricter than what England was. And somebody told me the streets were empty. He said they were literally empty. He broke his arm and he had to go to the hospital. And he said he went for 2 miles without seeing a single person. And then another story that somebody's told me is her son would walk from Combe Park, which is about 3 miles away, but they'd walk over the mountain. And the community was in the mountains. Everybody had forgotten about the streets, and they were in the mountains, walking and going up there for a picnic, or just going up. And she said it was quite strange. You'd meet on the mountain top, see your family, you'd keep your 2 meter distance, and you would have brought your food, they would have brought theirs, and you would have had a picnic on top of the mountain, but still keeping the, what was it, the 2 meters apart thing. And then they'd go home, and a few days later they'd have a phone call to say, meet you up the mountain at 2. So the mountains really came alive during the lockdown, and a lot of people have discovered the mountains who had never even ventured. I do find it strange to think there are people down in the village who are 60 or 70 and they've never set a foot onto the mountainside. And I think when something is there, you just take it for granted a bit. It's like when I lived in Cardiff. I don't think I ever went to Cardiff Castle because it was there. You always said, I'll go in a week's time, or too many tourists there today, so I'll go. And you never do. It's all about opening your eyes to have a look what is on your own doorstep. A cafe here would do a bomb in the summer. Nice little cup of tea and a sausage sandwich. I do love a Suffolk sausage every second Sunday. Just bumped into somebody with his greyhound going out for a walk. So this area that I live in, it's not a dead place. There's quite a lot of activity. It is a weekday today, and you can hear the sounds of industrial Rhondda down there. But on the weekend it goes quiet, and you can stand on your door and just listen to the owls. Look at that, there's a building down there. That is obviously part of the... Oh yes, I know where we are now. So here, again, it was the levels. And I've just remembered a story. Somebody came here with their dog once, and their dog went into one of the levels. I don't know whether they got the dog back, but the person went in after them, and then something happened. I can't remember whether they got out or there was an accident. So they put this here to protect the people from getting lost. And I would imagine this is a pipe to regulate the gases that are coming out of it. There you go, look. So even up until the 80s and the 90s, you could walk into some of these levels. There's a path going up there. Now, I just want a quiet little walk today down to this train station. And I think there could be another one up here somewhere on the right. You can see the bricks from the old buildings here. If you remember the other week when we went up to Blaenholm, I told you a brief plan of them wanting to open the tunnel in order for cyclists, the old railway tunnel. Well, I've heard some very good news. Apparently the local organisation that came up with this idea, they have now been given ownership of the land outside the tunnel, where there's going to be a visitor centre, car park. I did see on the plan they were going to put a children's play area. I thought, why do you need a children's play area when you've got all this? Back in the day, this was our play area. You went to the park, but the majority of the time you spent it on the mountains. This is where you learned. So yes, they are one step further to... I'm just trying to see if there's another level here. I don't think there is. So they're one step further, but still a long way off from opening the tunnel. It'll be quite good. We'll be able to go on a cycle ride, pop over to the other valley, where it might take us an hour and a half, 2 hours to walk there. We could be there in 20 minutes on the old bike. And as the weather starts to warm up now, because it's getting quite toasty now, we'll be going out on the bike for a ride. I was thinking, if I test the internet signal, maybe we'll do a live and we'll go for a little cycle ride. Right, this river here, this stream, I know we're very close to the station. It's been a lot easier to get here today than it was last time. Look at this here, this is nice. They've made a step. Well, it's not a step, but it's just to help the water, you know, to create a dam on the right. That's very good, but I've just noticed I've been drawn by this here. It looks like there's a sunken piece here, because it, in my eye, it goes up and then it comes back down the other side. I wonder, this looks like it could be flooded sometimes, but no, there's an old chair here. Look at this. Who would have known this was here? There you go. If you're having an affair with somebody, this is the place to come. Nice and secure. There's already a seat here and a bit of a fire pit. So maybe there are many stories to be told by these trees, but that is amazing. It's amazing. Just by coming over that little bit of a trip there of soil, it's gone very quiet, and you can just hear the trees whispering the secrets of many hundreds of years. Beautiful. Nearly winning it done. There we go, and I can see the station. The other night I was going to bed and I looked out of the window, and by Treherbert station there'd looked to be an almighty fireball. There was frozen mist in the air, and it was huge, and I got the drone out to go and film it. So I flew down. I thought, you know, there's some buildings on fire, some historical building is burning down, a chapter's coming to an end, let's go and film it. And when I got down here, it was the railwaymen just put in the last touches at about 2 o'clock in the morning for the grand opening of the return of the train, which happened this morning, which apparently they didn't do anything special. But when I looked out the window and looked up the valley, I thought, phew, the bomb's dropped. I know Rick Van Man loves the horse, so there you are, Rick. Look at that little one towards me. Hello. Coming to say hello to you. No food, sorry. Oh, you can feel the warmth coming out of their nostrils. No food, sorry, nothing. I only feed cats. I know, shocking, isn't it? See you later. Have a nice day. See, sometimes just being by the side of a babbling stream is enough to relax the mind. Look at this one here. I wonder if anybody's come for a dip in the summer. It's a nice deep one. I've heard the frog spawn is out. I haven't seen any myself yet, Look at that. Beautiful. And then we are at Welcome to the Woods. And then just beyond it is the train. Looks like it's just about to go down. So we've got the old trains for a while. So they've spent all this money electrifying the line, but they've given us the old diesel trains, and we won't get the new ones until the summer. And there's a bit of controversy because I can't remember whether there's toilets on it or not. There was a plan that there weren't going to be any toilets. So just before we go over to the train station, this building here is now Welcome to the Woods. Oh, the sun's right in my eyes. Can't wait for the summer when the sun is up a bit higher. This is Welcome to the Woods, an initiative to utilise the woodland around here. But back in the day, it used to be the old brewery, the Rhondda Brewery. And the sign for the brewery was just down in this spot here. And the locals couldn't understand. Why was the sign for the brewery facing up the valley and not to the village? And apparently they did that so that the miners would see it. Ah, the train's going. Let's have a quick look at the train. So this is a bit of extra track where they go up and change tracks to go into the sidings. So let us go across. Look up and down. Now they've spent all this money doing up the railway and it looks very nice, I must say. Let's get off the line first before we start talking, just in case. Can't get out. There we go. So they've spent all this money doing up the place, but they didn't have any money left over for a brush and a bucket of soapy water. Look how dirty that sign is. A lot of people are complaining on social media this morning. If I had a brush and a ladder, I would come down and do it myself. So let's have a quick look at this, see what all the fuss is about there, isn't it? This is a bit of history here. This is an old post box which used to work up until about the 90s, but what's interesting, it's got VR. So that is for Queen Victoria. I couldn't think then. So now the station's back in order, they might be taking these grids off. I wonder if the station is open though, because you used to go through the door there. Oh look, there's a new fence there. Let's have a look. Oh, this is a lot bigger. This is a lot bigger. Oh, the waiting room's a lot smaller. Oh, and there's two platforms now. Look at this. So originally you used to go up there and go up to the side, but this is all new. And we only ever had the one platform, but now there's two, look. So hopefully in time we'll get some more trains. So let's have a little walk down. Oh, look. Got the new boards to tell you what time the trains are. Alright, the platform's a bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. It looked a bit small on the old pictures that they put out. Many years ago, all this side on the left, I tried to get a project together so we could put a garden here. But even in the 90s, around 91, 92, they said they had plans to do something with it. And apparently there's a lot of pipes underneath the soil here, gas pipes. But now that they've decided that this is where the line is going to be, then maybe they'll put a flower bed. I think it'd be quite nice to have a big flower bed down the side. I suppose these people in these houses, they never tend to miss a train, do they? Anyway, it's all the same down there, but look. So I know a few people will complain about all this overhead stuff, but in time it'll just blend in and we'll just forget that it's there. Although it's a bit of a shame now to get off the train and you can't get a good view of Penpeach. But hopefully in time they'll discolour and they will blend into the landscape a bit more. But having the trains back means that opens the door to a wealth of adventures that we can have as I rediscover Wales after being away for 30 years. The whole world is now open to us. They just need to bring the price of the tickets down, that's all. This is good, they've got space down here for bikes. So you could cycle down, park your bike up, and then go off for the day. So this is the waiting room. But I just saw it's a lot smaller than what it used to be in the past. Oh, it's still got the old-fashioned tiles here, so they've kept some of the old features. Oh look, there's some pictures. These weren't here before. It's very hot in here though, I'll tell you that. Maybe come down here for the day with some sandwiches. Just sit in the waiting room all day and warm up. There you go, these are all the old pictures. Let's see if there's any pictures that belong to me that they've pinched. Oh, so this is the tunnel. If you remember, I told you about the tunnel. This is up the top, and this is the stone that they found, which I think is in the station. I'm not quite sure. There you go. It was very warm in that waiting room. I'm glad I came down today because he's just given me an information sheet that says that for residents in the area you can get 50% off your train fare for the next 3 months as a sort of thank you for putting up with all the trouble. I also highlighted to him how dirty that sign was, so who knows, maybe he'll go in and tell somebody and they'll get it sorted. But to go to Cardiff, we just had a quick look. It is £8.50 return, so that's not that bad, especially when you think that, what was it for the bus? The bus was £5.80, and at least with the train it'll just go straight there, as long as you don't want to go to the toilet. Just before we head up to the high street, we've always got to stop to have a look at the river. And I was stood here the other day and I noticed something I have never seen in my entire life. But on the left hand side there is a tunnelway, and all of a sudden the water just shot out of it. And after about 10 minutes it stopped, and 10 minutes later another lot of water just shot out. So I don't know where it's coming from, but look, the ducks are there, loving life. Right then, I am going to go and pick up some food from the village before I head home and have a nice cup of tea. So thank you for joining me, and I will catch up with you really soon. So until next time from me, bye for now.